Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here. Welcome to my continuation of my 100% guide for Life is Strange Double Exposure. We are doing chapter 3 now, and assuming you followed the first few videos, you should start the chapter with some evidence on the table, and you want to make sure you watch Gwen's flash drive. This is a key decision you'll need if you want some of the options I have available to me at the end of the game. Later in the chapter, you'll revisit the crime scene, and here, before sitting down on the bench, make sure you take a snapshot of the Snowdrop flowers. This is the imprint on the ground here. Then we'll make our way back to the Fab. Our goal here is to talk to Gwen in the dead world, and you'll want to make sure you quickly go over to the cafe and find the photo on the table before you move on. Additionally, inside of the Fine Arts building, there is a very tricky snapshot, and for this, we'll walk towards the tree and go behind it and interact with the stained glass windows for a snapshot. Unfortunately, you can't actually take it. You need to find a better position for it. So we're going to stand in front of the tree to get the windows and the tree in the snapshot at the same time. And once you grab this, this is one of the harder ones out of the way.
This is a lot prettier than my usual work, but...
We can also grab a snapshot of a record player. And from the Fab, let's go into Gwen's office here. And as we enter, if you look to the right-hand side, you'll find the record player. And here, grab the snapshot before you interact with some of the other things in the office. From the Fine Arts building, we'll then move to the admin building. And we'll want to switch to the dead world here and go into the kind of office that Vihn used to be in. This is right before Yasmin's office. There's two collectibles to grab when you're in here. The first one is the snapshot of the Hedgehog on the table directly in front of you. So make sure you grab that snapshot. But there is one more thing. You'll want to also grab the photo of the Hedgehog, which is on the wooden table. Again, both of these have to be done in the dead world. As a part of the story, you'll then have to go and enter Lucas's office. And when you do this, there's a couple of things we have to do when we're inside to actually progress the story, but there's also a couple of things you want to do if you're looking to get the snapshots and all of the achievements and trophies. So once you enter, let's look to the right-hand side and find the golden typewriter. You want to grab a snapshot of this as the first thing you do in the room, and you don't need to do the double exposure shots I mentioned earlier in the video. The next thing we can grab is right next to the typewriter. You can find a photo just hanging out right next to the trophy there. Pick that up. And while we're here, we can also grab the page turner achievement / trophy for finding all of the books and reading through them in this office. So look underneath the painting into the bottom drawer next to the door we entered from. If you do this, you'll find a bunch of files. And then during a cutscene, those files will be put on a desk. You want to interact with every single one of these, which include all of the folders, like the green, blue, and I believe purple folder. There's a couple of posters and flyers as well. I interacted with everything on the desk here, flipping through all the available pages when possible. After doing that, I'm going to go over to Lucas's desk. I'm going to look at the family photo. I'm going to examine it and flip it upside down to find the key that's hidden underneath. After I find the key that's hidden underneath, I can grab the key and I can take it over to that golden typewriter and use the key to open it up. If I open it up, there should be some documents inside that I'll be able to grab, and this is also necessary for the page turner achievement we're still working on. Once I grab these pages out, I make sure to flip through them and read them, and then I can back out, and eventually here you'll see an achievement or trophy unlock, as Sam does theoretically snap a snapshot during the cutscene. I would make sure to grab this on my playthrough. We then take control of Max inside of the bar. Once we do, let's go ahead and walk forward, turning to the left, hooking around these chairs on our left to find the photo on a table here. Make sure you grab that before you start talking to people. Now, while you're at the bar, you're going to be talking to Amanda and Vihn in separate worlds, and you're going to have romance options for both of them. There are 4 total achievements or trophies you can grab here. One is for romancing neither of them, you get one for both, and one for each of them individually. I have highlighted the one that I personally did in my playthrough in green, if you want to follow the exact same things I did. For the romance to happen, all you need to do is kiss them at the end of the long dialogue trees. One thing to keep in mind is that for the option for Amanda to appear, you do have to have chosen the A Date Thing dialogue option I told you to in Chapter 1. Additionally, don't worry about missing all of the other ones. You can go and replay this chapter in Explore mode, use the bumper to skip through all the conversations, and you can mop up the other 3 in literally 3 minutes. The next 2 snapshots also kind of happen simultaneously as you're doing the romance options. After talking to Amanda, make sure you grab a snapshot of her. You have to be in the proper world. Additionally, after your conversation with Vihn, you also have to take a snapshot of him. So those are 2 snapshots from the 2 people we talked to in the bar in different worlds. Make sure you grab both of them before you even consider leaving the bar, but there's one more thing to do. Before leaving the bar in the living world, make sure you talk to Gwen, which will have an automatic conversation about the flash drive. For this conversation to go how we want it, you would have had to save the footage in Chapter 2 and watch the footage in Chapter 3, which I did tell you about in this video earlier. Next up, we will return home, and this is something to do with the exclusive cat content. If you own the cat content, grab this snapshot. But if you don't own it, it isn't necessary for you to get your completion. Once you return home, you'll notice the cat is freaked out on top of the fridge. Go ahead and make sure you take a snapshot of it before you move on. There's been a lot of conversation online about the snapshot achievement / trophy and how it relates to the cat content. If you don't own the cat content, I guarantee you do not need to get the cat photos. Last but not least, for Chapter 3, before we move on and do our main objective, make sure you grab your final photo of the chapter. You'll want to switch to the dead world here and go to the corner of your living room to find the photo on the table. Once you pick that up, you should get all the photos for Chapter 3. If you finish off Chapter 3, Chapter 4 and 5 are quite short, so we are in the home stretch. Thank you for watching. Drop a like on the video. I hope you enjoyed it. A special thank you to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. Peace.